Buying meat is an important job for any homemaker. You know, we spend about 25 cents out of every food dollar for meat, so it's very important from that standpoint. Also, meat is a food that we all like, especially when it's tender and juicy and flavorful. And whenever you're buying meat to prepare a beautiful entree such as this, it's important that you know about two things in particular, about the meat quality, and then it's important that you know about the cut of meat that you buy. Now, to talk first about quality, there are the USDA grades for meat to help you in buying. This roast is graded USDA choice, and you can see the little purple shield-shaped grade stamp on the outside fat covering. This tells you that you're buying a certain degree of quality. Also, it assures you of buying consistent quality, because this rib roast is going to be just as tender and juicy and flavorful if you buy it today or if you buy it 2 weeks from now, when you buy by quality grade. So the grade stamps, or the grades, are there to help you in selecting. Now, these are the top 3 grades that you'll find most often in today's supermarket. The top quality grade, USDA Prime, and then this one, which is the most popular and one which you're most familiar with, USDA Choice. You'll find this all over the country in today's meat counter. And the third quality grade, USDA Good. And very often, a store will offer 2 grades. If you were going to buy a beef roast to prepare as a pot roast, you went in the store and there was USDA Choice and USDA Good available. And this one being a USDA Choice blade chuck roast, and this roast being a USDA Good blade chuck roast. And this one's selling for a few cents less per pound than this. Now, if you're going to prepare it as a pot roast, why not buy the USDA Good for a few cents per pound less? Because the way you cook it, cooking it slowly and adding liquid, you're going to tenderize it the way you cook it. So it's to your advantage to choose the grade according to how you're going to cook the particular cut that you select. So the grades do help in buying, you see. Now, meat grading is strictly voluntary. It's a service that's provided by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and it's provided by the request of meat packers and others who pay a fee for the service. And a specially trained federal meat grader judges the quality of the meat and then rolls the purple shield-shaped grade stamp all along the back side of a carcass and across the shoulder and up the brisket, and he rolls the grade stamp this way so that it appears on the outside fat covering of your retail cuts. Now, this roast, you can see the purple shield-shaped grade stamp on the outside fat covering of the roast, and this is what tells you the quality of meat that you're buying. So I say it represents a certain degree of quality and also assures you of consistent quality. Now, not all meat is graded. Only beef and calf and veal and lamb are graded for quality. Pork is not graded. Now, in addition, it's important to know the various cuts of meat that you buy and how to properly prepare them, because the cuts will vary within the animal. For example, in a side of beef, you have the more tender cuts along the center back portion of the side of beef, and then in this front section, the chuck, you have your shoulder and blade cuts, which are less tender, and then in the back section, in the round, you have your round steak and sirloin tip roasts, also less tender. So you have to prepare according to cut. And as I say, the cuts will vary in tenderness within one animal or within a side of beef. Now, there are booklets to help you that have been published by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, one entitled How to Buy Beef Roast, the other How to Buy Beef Steaks. And in each of these booklets, there's an identification chart in the center fold, illustrates all of the popular retail cuts just as you see them in the meat counter. And you can write for your single free copy of each, write to Steaks and Roasts, Agriculture TV, Washington, D.C., zip code 250. And you'll find, with the help of these booklets, that you'll be a much wiser shopper at the meat counter, and you can serve your meat cuts with pride.